welcome to another episode of S&P. We're back to our regularly scheduled program here where Paul and I are not even in the same state.
No, we're still on a split screen, just not from across the room like we were in Palm Springs, which was a little goofy, but that's all right.
Hey, you know what? Technology, we're using it to our advantage no matter where we are.
Exactly.
And you're clearly you're still California dreaming with your background.
I sure
there,
am.
Paul.
This was a photo I took during the 5K, actually. And so, it's just so beautiful there. You're taking pictures even while you're running. So what a conference it was. What a great time. How amazing to see 450 interpreters all in one place, wearing, by the way, this is going to be very crinkly. This is good podcasting right here, right?
ASMR.
These here, fully branded NAI conference masks.
Yep. All over the resort.
I don't care what conference chair James Danoff-Burg says, they fit fine.
Oh, Paul. So that was my first in-person conference with NAI ever. And it was, like you said, it was just so great to see 450 interpreters and commercial members and vendors and sponsors. And the sessions were amazing. The keynotes were, I don't know, my head hurts because of all of the great content. And the online sessions have been posted. All the videos recordings have been posted. So anybody who registered in person or online, those are now on the Whova platform, and you can just binge watch to your little heart's content up until February 28th.
That is spectacular because there was so much good content. And I know that there were some amazing online sessions, and we got to experience some of those because we were in the Songstop war room, getting everyone up and ready and on their online sessions. But then I know too that, the keynote presentations were amazing. The conversations between sessions were amazing, which is, obviously one of everyone's favorite things about being at these conferences. And, this is already a very huggy group, as our commercial membership liaison, Heather Manier, likes to describe NAIers. It's a very huggy group. It was even huggier than usual, I think, at this event.
Yeah, it was even with masks on, right? Or the elbow bumps or the fist bumps or, the waves. But, we could just sit here and go on and on about how great the conference was. But like LeVar Burton says, you don't have to take my word for it.
Oh,
so let's hear from our conference committee about what they loved about conference.
Howdy, folks. This is Dr. James Danoff-Burg, your conference chair and director of conservation at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens here in Palm Desert, California. I am sending along this video to you to share with you my favorite things from the NAI annual conference that we just had last year in our, watershed here in the Coachella Valley in Rancho Mirage, Palm Springs area. There were several really fantastic things that I got out of this conference. The main one really being what for me emerged as the major theme in the conference, which is a strong focus on JEDI, justice, equity, diversity, access, and inclusion. And particularly with relationship to working with Native American groups or Indigenous people, First Nations people up in Canada. It's a lot of what we have been doing here and developing here in the Coachella Valley at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. And I just came away with so many fantastic tools, from the opening keynote to the closing keynote, and 5 sessions that I attended during, about working with underserved, under-accessed groups. And I just feel so enriched from my time in that setting. Second thing that I really got a lot out of the conference was the ability to meet and network with so many amazing interpreters, and really interactive interpreters at that. You can't imagine a better group of people to get to work with. So I feel really lucky to be able to be a part of this wonderful group of folks as interpreters. I'm the director of conservation here, but a lot of the conservation work that we do works with people. So placing people at the center of conservation really is kind of interpretation. At least that's my take on interpretation. And the third thing was getting to spend a lot of time with my awesome committee members, the conference coordination committees members. You couldn't have asked for a nicer group of people to work with. And I tip my hat to all of them. I tip my hat to you. I'm wearing my NAI shirt today through work just because I was so excited about all the great experiences that we've had together, and hope you had a great time at the conference too, whether you were here with us in person in Palm Springs area, really Rancho Mirage, or online participating with the work and the sessions that were available online. Stay in touch. Hope you have a great rest of your year, rest of your holiday season, and start off 2022 strong. Interpretation is us, folks. Take care.
Hey everybody, it's Diana, your publicity chair for Shifting Sands. And I just have to say, for me, I've been to a lot of conferences, but this one was absolutely the most fun I think I've ever been to in my career. I mean, as usual, there was a variety of great content from speakers who were willing to share their experience and knowledge and expertise, and I'm so appreciative of that. I'll also remember the beautiful venue in the desert, and there were just so many awesome cultural and natural resources to explore around the conference. But for me, being on the backside, being on the planning committee, I learned how complex it really is to put on a national conference. And in this case, it was not just the in-person, but simultaneously we were putting on the online version as well. So we started over a year ago to plan, then close to the date, we had the national office had to ship pallets of materials. There was a rush to set everything out on time. And it was really complicated in the timing of everything. There was so much going on behind the scenes, and I would like to say my hat is off to Song, Paul, Jamie, Heather, and the entire staff. I think they're going to have to sleep for a week after this. But thank you also to all of you who helped put on this conference or came, participated, engaged with others, or even if you just had a great time. And I know that I learned a lot to help me go out in the world, and all of us to go out to make the world a better place. What was your favorite part of the conference?
Hey guys, it's May Day, and I am here at the Palm Springs Airport, about to board my plane. It's Saturday afternoon. We just got back from Indian Canyons, and it was awesome. And I just wanted to share what I loved about this conference. And for me, absolutely, it was all about getting everybody together. Like, I think that we all know that this is a community, whether you're in museums or national parks, that has been very seriously impacted by the pandemic and COVID protocols and lack of travel and lack of funding and all those types of things. And I know that me, and I suspect everyone else, was very, very hungry for the opportunity to jump back in and to get inspired by something that a neighbor or a partner was doing, or to find a neighbor and a partner to help you jump in with what you want to do. And for me, that was really the best part about it, was this just almost like physical energy that went through the space, especially that first morning when like sessions were opening and everyone was buzzing around, going to places, talking to people, sneaking in, coming back out afterwards, and then sitting outside in the courtyard to talk about what they had just seen or what they had just heard. It was great to see groups going out and birding, and for people that led impromptu hikes, and watching people with their cameras take story journeys, having just taken a great photography workshop, and seeing people paint and seeing people record into a microphone one of their favorite night sky experiences. And so for me, that's really what it comes down to. I was so happy. I joke about how I was so happy to sort of be a part of the comeback tour, but that's absolutely true. I knew that this conference was going to be important to people, and it was going to need to be fulfilling to people and reinvigorating to people. And I think it did. We had a great team, and for me, again, what it really comes down to was just I loved all of the energy and all of the activity and all of sort of the reassembling of the community that NAI really is. So, thank you. I'm glad you guys had a great time, and next year in Cleveland.
Hi, this is Simone Mortan. I've been the volunteer chair for this last several days here. Well, actually the last year, getting ready for this 2021 Shifting Sands of Interpretation here in Palm Springs. And it has just been awesome to be here, especially to work with our volunteers. You know, I worked with volunteers professionally and I'm retired now, and it was just such a joy to get back in the saddle and be working with amazing people from all over the country who stepped up and said, what can I do to help? And, you know, there's always last minute changes and things going on. And it was never a problem to get people to come up and step up and take things that were falling through the cracks. And I just so appreciate all of our volunteers. It's been a wonderful conference. Our keynote address with a focus on the justice, equity, diversity, inclusion was outstanding. The roundtable discussions afterwards were really interesting. People are really getting into addressing these issues, and I'm so pleased to see that at NAI. I was in the Jedi section group yesterday, and Linda Yamato, who received the Retirees Award at the awards banquet, stepped up. She's Asian American, for those of you that don't know her, and she was talking about how when she first joined NAI over 30 years ago, she was like the only Asian person there, and there was maybe one African American at a conference. And to look around the room and see the diversity that we're seeing now is really inspiring. We have a long ways to go, obviously, and we're learning all the time, and there have been some amazing sessions that talked about this kind of thing, and I'm so proud of NAI for embracing this and having it be part of their strategic plan. So I hope that you can come to the next NAI conference in, let's see, it's Cleveland, I think. I hope I'm saying that right. And it should be lots of fun. And if you want to volunteer early, because I filled all my volunteer spots at the very beginning of the year. They were full, and then I kept getting emails from people who wanted to volunteer, and I didn't have enough work to give everybody. So if you're interested in volunteering, be sure you send in that note very early in the going so that you get on the list and can take advantage of the benefits of being a volunteer. And truly, there is benefits just to being part of the group. You know, when you're helping out, it gives you a sense of purpose there, and it makes it a lot of fun. So thanks everybody to the volunteers that helped me out this year. Thanks to those of you that are going to help at future conferences. And I hope those of you that are here and those of you that have participated online, we had online volunteers as well. I hope you've all enjoyed this conference for NAI 2021, Shifting Sands of Interpretation. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.
Hey, y'all. I first got to thank you all for being such amazing visitors to a place here in the California desert that is just has such a special place in my heart, right? You know, this has been an important part of my life for so many years, and I'm just so thankful that you have all gotten a chance to explore it and build your own memories, and hopefully it's a special place now for you as well, right? And realistically, it's been an amazing conference because I've seen so many interactions that just are building great memories and great relationships for the future. One of the things that really strikes me is just how support is just oozing out of every relationship, every chat, every conference room, every little corner of this conference. The bedrock of that support will fuel me for a good few years. But also I hope we'll do a ton for all of you all, because it has been so unique of an opportunity to see the people who have gotten us to where we are now in interpretation in NAI, but also the people who are the future and the people who are going to push us forward and bring us to new amazing things, right? Every little interaction has been an absolute joy, whether it be around the fire pit, at that amazing opening reception, or just at lunch, sharing a little bit of food and sharing what's important to us and where we're from and how excited we are to be here. Don't get me wrong, conference ain't over just yet. A lot of the stuff that I am really excited about is still yet to come tomorrow for our field trip day. So I hope you all have had an amazing time exploring each other as well as this beautiful, wonderful place. And hopefully you get ready to go back to wherever you're from, and don't get used to not being able to wear jackets like you have here. All right, it's been wonderful, and I hope to see you all soon.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. And, I'm really feeling the NAI love. I'm actually currently here in St. Louis, Missouri, attending a board meeting that I'm a part of for the Explore St. Louis Convention of Visitors Bureau. And I'm not even kidding, I walked into the lobby of the hotel and I ran into a gal who works for the Missouri Historical Society. And she was like, song what?
Oh my gosh.
Song.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
And she was like, oh my God, I was just there at the conference in Palm Springs last week. And I was like, oh my God. So here we go. Now It's on.
What a story.
Now we're meeting people in person.
St. Louis, by the way,
Yeah.
is the birthplace of NAI. It's the site in 1987 where the Association of Interpretive Naturalists and the Western Interpreters Association had their final joint meeting before unifying as NAI, which was incorporated on January 1st, 1988.
Telling you,
you're in the home of the birthplace of NAI.
It's all coming full circle.
Right.
Well, Paul, we're going to have to change your background. Well, okay, let's leave your background at least through the winter.
Well, I figured this was for the, this was for this conference recap here. And, I figure I can use it one more time before we switch over to the super awesome Cleveland, the Guardian statues, the Interpretation Rocks, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got a whole rock and roll thing going on for 2022. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great conference. I mean, look, Palm Springs was beautiful. It was warm. Cleveland's probably going to be colder than Palm Springs, right? Like we're probably not going to have, 85 degrees in Cleveland. But,
yeah, probably not.
But it's going to rock.
It is going to rock. So no rest for the wicked, Paul. We got to get planning.
So there's call for presentations is coming. We're going to, get the call out there for pre-conference stuff, and we're going to start planning the offsites. We've got events all over Cleveland that we're going to do. I'm going to figure out a way, as you know I would, to get us to the ballpark, maybe some sort of evening event tour like we did in Denver a couple of years ago at Coors Field. So there's so much to do. And, we've got other events that we have coming up. We're going to be planning we're going to see what InterpTech's going to look like in 2022. We've got a virtual international conference again this year where we're partnering with some, not just North American organizations this time, but in Europe as well. So we have big plans afoot, and it's going to be an amazing 2022.
It's true. And we are going to send out a save the date calendar, which has all of the upcoming regional workshops on there as well. If your region's hosting a workshop, it should be on this calendar. So stay tuned for that email, and we'll see you soon.